this works. My friend got me this Razer mic for Christmas. First time using it, so hopefully the audio is alright. I don't have a stand. I might just hold it this whole video. If you're familiar with my channel, you know I don't do many sit-down videos like this. But the past 2 years, I've done reflection videos on my small business journey. So I thought it was only right that I do another reflection and update Q&A at the end. Before we get into it, I am going to say, if you haven't already, you should probably check out my entire small business playlist. I'll have that linked below. I don't want this to get too repetitive. I know I've covered a lot of things before, and I've vlogged pretty much the entire process of it, so you can really see a behind the scenes of how this all works. And thank you to Shopify for sponsoring this video. A brief overview. Hello, hi, I'm Annika. I started working on my small business in the summer of 2021. It was our second year into quarantine. A lot of people were taking on new creative hobbies. I've always been an artsy girl. I've done a lot of journaling growing up. Those were some of my first videos on this channel. I did a lot of monthly setups. I would add a lot of illustrations or print out photos, make it, very aesthetically pleasing. And people were often saying, if you had designed your own stationery, I would be interested in it. That definitely got my wheels turning. I had followed a lot of artists who make their own stationery on Instagram and YouTube before, and I got to see a lot of their behind the scenes process. So similar to what I was putting out on YouTube, I followed other people's small business journeys. But starting one on my own seemed like such a daunting task, even though I had seen how other people had done it. You're not really knowing the nuances and the nitty-gritty stuff. Like, I didn't have an iPad, I didn't have a drawing device, so I just used Procreate on my phone. Then came the part where how was I going to turn this drawing into a physical sticker? This was early in my YouTube career. I'd started YouTube in early 2020 when I went back home for the pandemic. 2021, I finished out my college education online and was feeling kind of lost in my first post-grad summer. Things were still in lockdown. I had this YouTube channel that gained a little bit of traction. I think at the time I had a few 100,000 subscribers. Around that time, I actually got a sponsor for Cricut Maker, which is a multifaceted cutting device. A lot of people used it to make their own stickers, in fact. So it was my first summer on my own without school. I decided, hey, why not try this out? At least it could be a little fun side hobby. I tried making my own stickers with the Cricut Maker for my sponsorship video. So I got my designs that I drew up on my phone, printed at FedEx, took the sticker paper home, and tried to cut it out on the Cricut machine. It was a very tedious process, and the product is one of my tester sheets. As you can see, I've done multiple cuts of it. She was what it was. I think I was just excited at the time, the fact that I created a sticker of any type with my own drawings. Like, I never went to art school. I've never done any art classes professionally, but I always doodled and stuff growing up. I would not consider myself an artist. I'm more of a designer at this point. So seeing my designs on paper and something I could put in my journal was just crazy. After creating those first stickers and posting that video, a lot of people were excited and they were asking me if I was going to sell it. And to be honest, at that time, I didn't think they were of the quality to be sold. One of my tester sheets. But it got me thinking. I would say I'm quite an ambitious person. Once I put my mind to something, I'm really committed to see it through. I always have the mindset of, oh, if it doesn't work out, you can literally just switch to something else. You don't have to continue with it. I love quitting things. At least I gave it a try and I saw what it was and I learned and grew from that experience. Because I had a lot of support on YouTube, I just went for it. I did a lot of research and watched a lot of other vlogs of people starting their own small businesses. I researched different types of printers, different cutting devices, where to get sticker paper from, and spent the summer designing and printing out all my own items. I think I had 20 design. I don't know about 20, but I had a significant amount of designs. And I made, I want to say 20 sticker sheets each. I did not have a lot. I didn't know how it would go. I mean, I had comments being like, oh, we would love to, but you know, it's easier to say that than to actually click the purchase button. So I was playing it safe. There's no way of knowing for sure how successful you'll be, especially out of the gate. A lot of things take time, and you can't expect to be perfect creating the best quality products in the beginning either. But I always tell people now, you have to start somewhere. And if you have a small audience in the beginning, there's kind of less pressure to be perfect. People will see your evolution, and as you gain more traction, your product quality will also increase. A lot of people like the journey part of it. That's what gets them connected with the people behind a brand or a company. Seeing the behind the scenes and all the mistakes and worries, I think that's what makes it human. I know I've said this before because it's so true. People connect to people. So if you're able to make that human connection with someone, they are a lot more likely to buy a product you create. So yes, where were we? Back in the timeline. It was the end of September when I was finally ready to launch. I had my own website. I used Shopify. It was not the website I started on, but I've been using them for the past 2 years, and it's definitely been a game changer for me. Huge shout out to them for sponsoring this video. I've loved every second of working with them. Shopify is the commerce platform I use to manage, run, and grow my small business. As I was getting more orders, I needed a website that would help me manage all that. Shopify hosts some of the biggest brands in the world, so I could trust that they would help me get the job done. I was able to completely elevate my business, not only in terms of the design, but the analytics I get, connecting to all my socials. A big theme you may have noticed already in this video. Social media is where I got my audience. You can connect your shop through YouTube and Instagram. Those are the primary channels that I use. The front page, the product pages have never looked better. The design tools are so easy to use. They're very intuitive. You can easily rearrange order of things by using the sidebar. And I recently installed a review plugin. That way you can leave star ratings on all of the products you purchased. This and many more apps can be found in the extensive Shopify app store. And because I'm such a big proponent for them, they've given me a free trial to share with y'all. So if you want to start your own small business, be sure to go to shopify.com/annikasleaf for a free Shopify trial, and I will have a link in the description. I think in part because I had a low inventory to start with, and my video about starting a small business gaining a lot of traction, I was so fortunate to have a very successful launch. A lot of things sold out right away. People ask me about how much I invested to start this thing. Transparently, it was around $1,000 total, I think, for the printer, which cost the most, the Cricut maker, which I was fortunate enough to get for free from a sponsorship, then all the material, the website subscription. That first day of sales, I was able to make that all back and even more so. It was just so exciting seeing people hit purchase on the things that I had created and asking when things would come back in stock. I locked in and I was like, this could be a lot more than just a summer hobby. January 2022, I saved up enough of my earnings to buy an iPad, which elevated my design process. I was able to do things a lot faster. I started to get custom packaging, seal stickers made on, I think it was No Issue. And each time I dropped new products, I was seeing more sales come in. So exciting in the beginning because you don't expect anything from it really, or at least I didn't. Not only to see the numbers and the revenue go up, but to have people write messages to you and say they're proud of you, like that human connection, something that can't be replicated. 2022 is when I decided to rebrand or give a name to my brand. I was just kind of going by Annika's Leaf shop. I named my brand On Studio, On for Annika, and then I was looking into outsourcing a lot of my products. It just wasn't sustainable to keep making them at home for how much time and money it cost. Here I was really starting to get into being more of a designer and having manufacturers create all the product for me. Some people ask if I regret not doing that from the beginning, and I would say no. Starting small feels a lot safer. It's more in your control. And making things at home really made me appreciate the time and the effort that goes into the whole process of making these things. I knew if I got it done professionally, the quality would also improve. And it was getting to the point where I needed more time to actually pack the orders. I was fulfilling thousands of orders from my apartment bedroom all the way up until November of 2023. Now that I look back on it, oh my gosh, girl, how was I doing that? My apartment was basically taken over by boxes and packing materials reels. I did not have any home and work life separation. It was kind of bad. At that point, I had a lot of successful launches under my belt, but I was still scared of taking that next step and getting not only another space for it all, but getting help. I was doing all the packing myself. There were so many nights I was up until like 2 a.m. I didn't have time for anything. I've always been an introvert person with very few friends, but my social life was not poppin'. I really wasn't able to do anything other than focus on my small business. That's something I hear from a lot of people who start out. People will tell you be prepared to not have a life outside of it. I think it's possible to not completely overwhelm yourself at the beginning, but the types of people who start small businesses, a lot of times we're the overachievers, we're the people who get obsessed with our career and work. It just happens. I mean, you don't intend on it being like that, but the obsession takes over. It took a long time for me to reach out and relinquish some of that creative control. I think that's another thing that was stopping me from getting help earlier. You don't have the trust that other people can do it the same as you. And maybe it's true. Maybe people can't do it the same exact way as you, but maybe they can do it better. Maybe you can work with other people to create an even more efficient system. You definitely don't know until you try, and it may take a few tries, which is the scary part. And that's why I stuck with it so long myself. I was like, it's fine. I can sacrifice a few more days, a few more nights of sleep to get all these orders done. But I was losing my mind. It was not cute. I got an office, hired an assistant, and finally had some time to myself. I was able to focus more on the designing process, which is the part that I feel like I can't pass on to anyone else, at least at this point. That's the part that I love the most, I think, creating things. 2024, I was fortunate enough to see even more growth. I created makeup pouches, I created journals and planner sets. I created my bears. I even just recently launched socks. 2025, we're definitely getting into more apparel. I teased that I've been working on some pajamas. Freeing up all that time from packing orders has definitely allowed for me to focus more on growing the brand and its product line. And so yeah, here we are. I hope this hasn't been too rambly so far. It's really just a video podcast. I hope you're staying cozy, sipping a warm beverage if it's winter for you. But that is my small business journey so far. Before we end this video off, I want to answer a few questions from Instagram. A lot of people are asking about how to grow your social media in general, because as I had said, that's where my buyers come from. People watch me on YouTube or they see my Instagram and that's how they decide they want to purchase something. This day and age, you need social media to market yourself. And I say yourself and not necessarily your products because it is such an oversaturated market. And I can only speak from experience. Like, I don't have a degree in business, I don't have a degree in marketing, but the way that I marketed myself was through YouTube and showing the real authentic side of creating a business. But it's also exhausting if all you want to do is create the business and be an entrepreneur and not be on social media. I get it. But it's almost impossible to gain attention, bring traction to your shop without doing so. So what I would recommend is recording any and everything you can of your whole business process. If you have a phone, you can make content. For example, make a quick reel or TikTok of you unboxing your new products. Do a time lapse of you packing orders. Just record as much as you possibly can and put together content that you would also want to watch. That's kind of my YouTube advice in general. Make stuff that you want to watch, because if you want to watch it, most likely someone else will. Okay, more questions. Oh, shit. Ooh, dealing with imposter syndrome. Yeah, I've definitely experienced that, as I think a lot of people do when they start seeing some success. I kind of just distract myself with all the things that there are to do for a small business. My to-do list is never ending. So if I find time that I'm sitting around doubting my skills, then I'm clearly not working on something. That time and brain energy can be a lot more productive. Try focusing on the things that I can control and making product and designing. That's what excites me. At what moment in your small business journey made you think, I can't believe I've made it this far? I think this is the one we're going to end on. Earlier this year, we hit 10,000 orders, and it wasn't necessarily hitting that number that really made me go, wow. It was the fact that we had packed over 10,000 orders by hand, shipped them out, and over 10,000 orders have been received from people all around the world. I don't think I could say I know 100 people, let alone 1,000, let alone 10,000. So that's pretty special. My camera is really heating up. I hope this audio is fine. I can't wait to listen to it in post-production. But thank you so much for listening to me ramble and for supporting me throughout my entire small business journey. Wow, we're really going to be going into 2025. So that's 2022, 2023, 2024. A fourth year? Wow. Yeah, so pajamas on the way and hopefully a lot of other fun stuff coming very soon. And I'm wishing you a lot of luck with your own small business journeys and just good vibes for the new year. Take care, friend.